what I've done between streams is I've cleared out another room area over on the opposite end of kind of this atrium space that we've got, and the dimensions of this room are pretty much the exact same as the dimensions of the room that we have over there. It's probably going to end up being like an exact mirror of that room, but it's going to be a little bit different in that it's going to be housing quite a lot of chickens. So I think I did mention a little bit in a previous stream that we've got quite a few mods in this pack that are related to chickens. If we type in chicken, you'll see there are far too many eggs in JI on the right here. There are so many eggs, and there are also quite a lot of devices, quite a lot of blocks that related to chickens and stuff that you can do with them, right? We've got mods like Roost, we've got mods like Chickens, we've got mods like Hatchery. I think we might also have like better chickens or extra chickens or more chickens, or there's just way too many chicken-based mods. But that does mean that we can do quite a lot of stuff with chickens. So to start off here, I think maybe Roost is the mod that I'm going to use at the beginning. We're going to start by making ourselves a Roost, a chicken breeder, and a Roost collector. That does remind me of one more thing that we did do between sessions, and that is that we made some chicken bait. For those who are not familiar, it's this stuff right down here. It's added by X-Compressum, and you can make it by crafting 2 vanilla Minecraft seeds together. And essentially the way that that works, I'll show you real quick. We'll make another set and throw it down in the same area here. So we'll just grab another set of you, and essentially the way that this works, it's pretty similar to all the rest of the bait. You can get like cow bait, pig bait, sheep bait, all kinds of bait, but essentially you want to put it down on a grassy area, which is why we have this little platform of grass right here, and you want to put it down near some water. If you do that, it should say in the chat that bait will work in this environment. Move out of range so you don't scare the animals. So you can't be too close to it, but if you put that down and you just kind of leave it there, let it do its thing, eventually it should go ahead and turn into a chicken. I believe it just kind of spawns in a chicken in that area, and that is also why we have quite a few chickens kind of bouncing around the base. You'll notice we got one guy here who is, we've got 2 guys here who are just chilling in this hole. I don't think they can get out, which is kind of, they've walked themselves in and now just can't go anywhere, which is why they're sitting in there, but that's fine. That can be their little chicken home for the time being. I'm sure it's quite warm with all of the StoneBlock factories there, but crucially, they are providing us with eggs, which is exactly what we need. But before we get into making any actual chicken eggs, let's go back over to @Roost, and let's make ourselves a Roost, a chicken breeder, and I don't think we need a Roost collector just yet, but the standard Roost is fairly easy to make. It is 5 planks of any variety, and then 3 hay bales, which we can of course make with a bunch of wheat. So let me grab some dirt, let me grab some regular vanilla Minecraft seeds, and thankfully we do have an absolute metric butt ton of bone meal right now. We've got 7,000 bone meal in the system, which is crazy. And then finally, I don't think we have, oh, we do have a hoe. Nice. I will take that as well then, just to make our lives a little bit easier. And this should make it actually just incredibly easy for us to get like just an absolute butt ton of wheat. We can then craft that wheat up into the hay bales for the Roost. And the chicken breeder is a very similar recipe, but you stick in some seeds in the middle there. And so all in all, this really shouldn't be too hard for us to do. We got a stack and 18 wheat. I think that should be more than enough for us to set these guys up. And so the way that the chicken system works from Roost is kind of like the system from AgriCraft. If you guys have ever played with that mod in particular, it works in a pretty similar way in that you can get chickens that produce resources, and then you can breed those chickens together to make better chickens that produce that resource faster, more reliably. They produce it quicker, in higher quantities, all that kind of good stuff. And so to do that, essentially, you get yourself a Roost. You also want to get yourself a chicken breeder. This is kind of the key device that we're going to need. And then you also need to get yourself a chicken, right? And I think to start with here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a wooden chicken, right? Because just a minute ago, we were walking through the plastic generator over here, the setup that we've got that produces plastic automatically, but Crucially, it's not fully automated just yet. If we break back in here real quick, you'll notice that although we do have a block placer placing down wood, we don't have anything automatically feeding wood into that block placer, right? And so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start by making a chicken that produces wood, right? If we go over to if we just type in actually, I think like wood chicken, it might come up. It totally does. Oh, that's a magical wood chicken. Let me type in just chicken then. And I think one of the first ones on here should be a chicken for wood. Maybe it's like an oak chicken. Oak chicken. Nope. What is it called, chat? Oak log. Let me see here. It'll tell me here what I can use. I need A log chicken, of course. Log chicken. Here we go. So to get a log chicken, it's real easy to make. It's one egg surrounded by logs. So if we go ahead and shift click that in and grab ourselves a log chicken, I think the next thing we're going to need if we want to do this is a chicken stick. This, not a chicken stick. What is the item called? It's called like a chickinator or something. Oh, it's this thing here, the chicken catcher. This guy, it's an egg, a stick, and a feather. And what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to pick chickens up in chicken form, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Apparently, we do not have any feathers, really. No feathers at all. Am I gonna have to take my demonic metal manulin katana to one of these chickens here? Chat, look away. Look away. You can't see this. This can't be, you can't see this, okay? You can't, nothing happened. No chickens were harmed during the making of this. Oh, it didn't even get me didn't even get a freaking feather. Oh my goodness. Did we get another chicken yet? Did the chicken spawn over here from the bait? Oh, it did. It's a baby chicken though. I can't kill a baby chicken. I mean, look at those eyes. Look at those eyes, chat. I can't kill that chicken. I can't kill that chicken. All right, I'll go kill his cousin over here. Give me a second. We need a feather though. If we can get a feather, we can kind of get this show on the road. So get this guy out of here. Really? No. Okay. I think in that case, then, chat, what I'm gonna have to do real quick is head on through to the Nether, because if you remember, we do have quite a lot of Nether quartz chickens wandering around in the Nether. So I'm gonna head through there real quick and see if we can't get a couple of feathers. I think we only need the one to get this thing up and running, but it looks like we're not getting it in the overworld.
2,000 years later.
Before I take you up on your offer for a feather, I would very much so like to obtain my own feather, but it feels more and more like it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm just not going to get the feather that I want. I will open exactly, like, 5 more loot bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if none of these contain feathers, I will just assume that I have been cursed with the feather curse, the lack of feathers curse, and I will yield and accept one singular feather from a friend. Chisel and bits, it's a cobweb. There's iron with a green slime crystal. Last one, chat. Last one. It's not a feather. We got chest transporters. We did get the acceleration one, though, which is actually huge. This is going to help us so much when it comes to working. Oh, I forgot we've got wireless charging on as well. That's crazy. And that is going to help us so much when it comes to these chickens. You do not even believe, chat. It's actually going to be incredibly useful. You'll see in a second if you don't know what that one does. But we got... Whoa. Hold up. We got 8 feathers? Did we get those? Did those come from... What's in here? Is this just some eggs? I'll take the eggs. But the feather I cannot accept. Did we get those out of the... Did those come out of a loot bag? I'm going to assume they did. So, back to where we were 25 minutes ago. We need to get ourselves a chicken device. The chicken catcher, which is made with 1 egg, 1 stick, and 1 feather. So to make that, we just do this. And then we have it. And essentially... For those who don't know, the way that this works is it allows you to turn actual chickens into items, right? So, for example, if I take these eggs here, I try and get... Oh, these are going to spawn babies, though, right? These are not going to actually spawn chickens. If I take my log chicken, I'm fairly certain that this is guaranteed to spawn in a log chicken. Like, I don't think it's a chance... like it is with the regular eggs. So if I throw this down, we get a log chicken. And then if I right-click this guy with my chicken stick, it turns that chicken into an item that we can hold in our inventory, right? We got a log chicken found in the overworld. I believe if we wanted to, we could put him back down, pick him back up again, move him about like that, which is quite cool. So now that we have that guy, what we can do is, if we really wanted to, we could put down our roost and we could put our chicken in the roost, and slowly but surely, very, very slowly but surely, he would begin to produce logs for us. You could see that it is going to take quite a while, maybe a couple of centuries, for this guy to get to 100% on producing a chicken for us, on producing some logs for us. And so, we want to speed that up, right? And to speed that up, we need to get this guy a friend, specifically a friend that he can go with in the chicken breeder. So I'm going to very quickly head back over here and get another log chicken. Should not be too hard for us to make whatsoever. Another one of these. And we'll do the exact same thing again here. We'll throw him down. We'll pick it up with the chicken catcher. And then what we're going to do is we're going to throw both of these guys into the chicken breeder. And if I'm not mistaken, we also need some seeds in order to kind of incentivize that sweet chicken breeding. So if we come back on over to our new chicken area and we throw down our chicken breeder, what we should be able to do, also you can see the chicken from the outside there, which I think is pretty cool. What we should be able to do is throw both of these lovebirds into the chicken breeder, provide them with some seeds, and again, slowly, very, very, very slowly, but surely, they're going to breed and form a new chicken. And that is where our acceleration wand becomes in. Because now, if we shift right click with the acceleration wand on the chicken breeder, you'll see right now we're on 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. If we shift right click like so, you'll see at the top there we're at 3%, 4%, 5%. If we stop, it's like 6, 6.1, 6.2, and then if we right click again, it kind of goes quite quickly. Now this thing does use quite a bit of power, and I'm a little worried that fairly soon here we're probably going to run out of power pretty quickly. If I go and quickly check on my power system, at the end of the last stream, we were completely out of power. Since then, I have kind of turned off a lot of systems, and so before the stream started today, we were on like 8 million redstone flux. This thing was completely full. Right now, it is hovering around the same amount, but I think it is slowly but surely dipping. Yeah, you can see we are very slowly kind of losing power. So eventually that will run out. And this wand is constantly being refilled with redstone flux through our flux network there. That's charging it wirelessly. And as I do this, it does use up quite a bit of power. But if we come back over here and we just shift right click this thing, it's still going to take a little bit of time here for me to get this up to 100%. But as you go through the chickens and you get higher and higher in the tiers, this will become faster and faster, right? The progress will become faster and faster, and it will get done significantly quicker. But for now, this one's going to take a while. Of course, I am being reminded by the Twitch chat. You can indeed shift scroll on how does this work? You can equals key. Okay, so there is a hotkey you can use to change the mode. There is fast, faster, and fastest. I don't know why they didn't just go with like slow, medium, and fast or something like that, but if we upgrade that to fastest, I believe it is going to go a little bit faster, although it is going to use, I think, even more power per percentage point that it actually increases it there. But at fastest, it is going to complete fairly quickly here, and so we are at 99.5%. Any second now. Look at that. True love right there. And so now we have a chicken that has 3 stats. It's got growth, it's got gain, and it's got strength. And so what we want to do here is we want to take out one of these log chickens and we want to put in our new better chicken. For example, now if we come over here and we put in our standard chicken and we look at like how fast it works here, you got 0%, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. In theory, this one should be faster. Only a little bit, but it should be faster. You can see it is already faster at what it does. But crucially, what we can do now is we can put it back in with our other chicken. It doesn't matter which of the chicken, because these two are exactly the same. Already, these are breeding faster. Again, if we use the fastest acceleration wand here, we can get that up to 100% pretty quickly. And then once we do, we should, as a result, get an even better chicken, right? You'll see at the top there in Whaler that the original chicken, even though it doesn't say it, has a stat of 111. So its growth, its gain, and its strength are all 1. Whereas the new chicken is 233, the resultant chicken that we get should be even higher, right? You know, like maybe 432 or something like that. Something along those lines, essentially. We'll see. It's time for that magic moment again, though, chat. Are you ready? 97, 98, 99.4. You gotta let the last bit happen naturally. But when it does, bloop. And look at that, we've got a 354. So, all I'm going to do now is we should really get some kind of chest or crate to store all these excess chickens in, because there are indeed way too many chickens. But if I go and quickly grab just like a normal chest for the time being, because we are going to get quite a lot of these as we progress on here, I'm going to go away and basically try and get a 10-10-10 chicken, the best chicken that you can get. So that's another 9-10-10. So I'm fairly certain if we breed 2 9-10-10s together here, we should maybe be guaranteed a 10-10-10, or I guess maybe almost guaranteed. It might not be a sure thing, but you can see now the progression goes so much faster now that we're almost at that 10-10-10 mark. And there it is, our first 10-10-10 chicken. And again, now if we just breed that with our 9-10-10, I'm pretty sure you're almost guaranteed to get another 10-10-10. And now if you just breed those 10-10-10s together, you can get just an infinite amount of 10-10-10 chickens, right? If I just stay here and keep holding down the right mouse button on the acceleration wand, we should now get, I think, just an infinite amount of log chickens. And people in the Twitch chat have told me that those log chickens can be stacked up to 16. And if you put 16 10 chickens into a roost, it produces even more resources, which is kind of insane when you think about it. But let me try real quick. Can I get in here? Let's see if we can get up to 16 log chickens. And then let's see if we can do a quick comparison between having just one 10 chicken and then 16 10 chickens, and maybe even compare that to the starting chicken, which is just the slowest of them all, right? So there's 16 10 log chickens. If we go ahead and grab the initial log chicken, so this is the starting speed, right? This is the speed at which a normal log chicken produces wood. It's pretty slow. This is the speed at which a 10 chicken produces wood. Quite a bit faster, right? Still not crazy fast, but quite a bit faster. And then this is the speed at which 16 10 chickens produce wood. Now, it's not all that impressive when it comes to wood, right? Because, of course, we've got these bonsai pots over here. And the bonsai pots, in and of themselves, by the way, are just crazy overpowered, in my opinion, but also kind of awesome. And these things we've had forever, and they also produce just a butt ton of wood, right? The place where these chickens get crazy is when you start moving into other resources, because if you remember, if we go back over into JEI here, there are so many chickens, right? We can get plutonium chickens, iron chickens, copper chickens, demon metal chickens. I'm pretty sure we can even get all the way up to maybe like I'm pretty sure we might be able to get draconium chickens as well, like this guy right here. That's crazy, right? Like that's a crazy resource to be able to produce so quickly. And on top of that, you know, we've got the awakened draconium as well. Now, the way that you get these chickens, you'll notice there is no draconium chicken egg. And I say that as there is actually a draconium chicken egg. And so there are a few different ways to breed these. You can see this is from the More Chickens and Chickens mod. The way that you would do this with Roost is you would get two different kinds of chickens, in this case a pig iron chicken and an ender pearl chicken, and breed those together for I think a chance, but maybe it's guaranteed, I'm not quite sure, of getting the draconium chicken, right? So if we press U on, for example, one of these log chickens that we've got, and we take a look at the breeding here, you could see that we could breed together like a log chicken and a flint chicken to get a coal chicken. We could breed a log chicken and a lapis chicken to get a snowball chicken, string chickens, rubber chickens, magical wood chickens. And so just like kind of any other resource generating mod, you know, just like Ex Nihilo, just like, you know, mining lasers, all that kind of stuff, we can use these chickens to get pretty much any resource in the game. And combined with the acceleration one that we've got, making it just so much easier and so much quicker to breed through all these. And on top of that, the fact that we've got a near limitless supply of bone meal thanks to our dust sifting means that we can get almost infinite seeds, which means we can breed infinitely and get to this ridiculous speed of producing resources with almost any chicken, which is kind of crazy. But what I want to do for now is I want to actually put this to use in our plastic setup that we have over here. Essentially, all I'm going to do is break into here. We should probably put some kind of buffer in, because I don't think it's going to be, I don't want to do that at all. I don't think it's going to be too good of an idea to just have this kind of pumping into the block placer. Like, we might end up with a little bit of lag there, but if we quickly just disable that and reset this up real quick, so insert and extract. I think I want to extract on the brown line. Yeah. Extract on brown, always active. Yeah, let's, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking what we probably want to do here, clear out a little bit more space, and then just throw down the roost, probably like right about here. We'll throw down I think a storage drawer, maybe like right here. So we got like another wood storage drawer as kind of a buffer for all of that wood. Potentially even with a void upgrade. Although I think if the roost gets full, I would assume that it just stops producing extra logs, presumably. So I don't, maybe we don't need the void upgrade. But if we get some more item conduits real quick, all I'm thinking here is we just pull directly out of the roost and into a storage drawer, and then from that storage drawer out and into our block placer, and that should continually provide that block placer with an infinite amount of wood, and therefore hopefully produce an infinite amount of rubber. Now, people in the Twitch chat are pointing out that we can make rubber chickens, and that is true, but that completely null and voids the point of us spending all that time producing the rubber setup, right? If we just go ahead and then make a rubber chicken, which would work and would get the job done, but I think this is a cooler setup. Having a wood chicken help in the process of producing rubber, right? So we'll throw this down here. We will set you to insert. We'll make sure that this one over here is set to extract without a redstone signal, so always active. This one is also extract always active, and then you finally are insert. And so if we throw all of our 16 log chickens into there, we should begin to produce wood, which should then, of course, move down into the storage drawer. We should probably lock that at some point so it only stores wood, but we then have an infinite amount of wood constantly and eternally being placed into the block placer so that our plastic system should, so long as we have power, never stop working. And that always have power requirement is one that's kind of teetering on the edge of not being kept right now. We are a little close to not keeping up with our power demand, and so I think it's probably about time that we look into fixing that, right? Now, the easy way that we can do that, kind of just right out the gate here, I want a key. Let me quickly grab that real quick and lock that drawer. But the easy way for us to increase our power output is to throw some upgrades onto our setup for the arboreal extractors. And I probably will do that because we probably could do with a little bit of extra power in the short term here. Also, I'm just going to very quickly do this and that, so it just locks to wood, so it's always got wood in there, and I don't know how anything else would end up in there, but on the off chance that it does, it should now only be able to hold wood. But what I'm thinking is that we'll increase our arboreal extractor. We'll make our arboreal extractor setup better right now, but I do also want to start working on a bit of a different power setup as well in today's stream to kind of complement our power setup, because I said it before when we first set this up, right? I want to make multiple different power setups. What I don't want to do is just build this one power setup and then milk it for the rest of the series, right? I don't want to just use the arboreal extractors for power forever. I think one of the most fun parts about modern Minecraft is generating power, and I think there are a lot of ways to do it, and I think there are a lot of interesting ways that we can kind of automate our power generation. But I think what I will do real quick here is increase the output of these machines. Specifically, I think for now we can probably get away with just increasing the compression dynamo speed and also making a few augments for these dynamos to have them produce a little bit more power and see whether or not we can start to hit the limit of resin, because right now we're producing way too much resin for our system. Like, we're producing way more than we could possibly need. So if I come over here, the next upgrade that we can make to our dynamos is the reinforced upgrade, which is in here somewhere. I keep scrolling through these pages and not knowing where in the freaking world it is. Is it this one here? It is, right? Yeah. And to make that, we need 4 electrum, we need silver, and then we need some hardened glass, which I think, if memory serves me right, we can make in our induction smelter with lead and obsidian. Now, one of these does have to be pulverized, and I always forget which one it is. Let's see here. Hardened glass. What do I need? I need pulverized lead and pulverized obsidian. They both have to be pulverized. And right now we don't have a pulverizer, right? I think up until now we've been using the grindstone to do this. I guess in theory it probably makes a lot more sense for us to use the sag mill right about now as opposed to using the grindstone. Although our sag mills are all full to the brim because both of these systems are currently not online right now because we're having a little bit of a spillage issue between streams. But let me quickly kind of just disable. Oh gosh, where does this come in? Does it come into the back? Also, has this been tweaked? Has Ninja tweaked this? Oh no, I didn't tweak. I tweaked that. That's me. Don't forget, you also have efficiency upgrade for the dynamos. How do those work? Efficiency. Are those efficiency augments, right? Which augments do we need? Like auxiliary augments, nullification augments. There's a reception coil augment. Increases maximum power usage. Additional energy is required. So I don't think that's the one we're after, right? Is it increases power generation? Is that the one we want? The transmission coil? Is that one that increases power generation, but I assume also increases the amount of resources that are used? Is there another dynamo? Is there another resource that also more energy is produced by fuels? So can I put the fuel catalyzer into my dynamo to increase its efficiency? Does that work? And I guess do that in combination with the transmission coil if I wanted to. Or maybe just do one of either, right? Like if we're producing way too much fuel, if we're producing way too much fuel, we could put in more auxiliary augments. And if we're not producing enough fuel, we could put in the fuel catalyzers, right? To decrease the amount of fuel we use while still maintaining the redstone flux per tick, right? Cool. All right. Let me quickly just, did I toggle the back of that? I don't think I did, right? Onto the bottom of that even. Let me toggle that to disabled real quick. Does that mean that can't go in? It does, nice. And then I'm just going to quickly throw in some obsidian, which will hopefully process quite quick. Yeah. Let us see. Do we have what it takes? Hopefully, this thing is good. It does. We've got quite a bit of hardened glass now. So, we should hopefully be able to grab a little bit in the way of gold, as well as a little bit in the way of silver, both of which we've got over 2,000 of now, so I'm not too bothered about turning like a whole stack of gold and a whole stack of silver into 2 stacks of electrum there real quick. We can also look at making some augments for our thermal expansion machines. This one right here, the auxiliary coil augment, does increase the speed at which machines will work in general. So I'll throw this guy in there. It's going to bump up the redstone flux usage, I think from 40 to 60, or is that 30 to 60? 30 to 60. It doubles the amount of redstone flux per tick that it uses, and also therefore increases the speed at which we get those electrum ingots, which is very nice indeed. But we are more focused on getting some of these transmission coil augments so that we can increase the output of our machines. But before we get to those, I do also want to make a couple of these reinforced upgrades, those being these ones right about here. And for that, we need to get some silver gears, some electrum, and some hardened glass. We're going to get 4, 1 for each of our compression dynamos. We could also put them, I guess, if we really wanted to, onto our steam dynamos as well, although right now we're not really using the steam dynamo power for anything but powering the fractionating stills, and so I don't really think that is all too necessary, but we will go ahead and, if we've got enough electrum, grab ourselves 4 of these reinforced upgrades. Oh, I do need to replace the glass there. That is one thing that I do like about like Applied Energistics. It does kind of look at the items here and then give you, like, use the ones that you have. Like in this case, you can use any kind of hardened glass, but the storage scanner will only take the specific kind of hardened glass that you have, as opposed to recognizing that any hardened glass will work and using those in its place, right? But anyway, that's going to get us 4 of those reinforced upgrade kits. And so now if we head on over here, what we should be able to do is plop those into our compression dynamos, and that is going to increase the redstone flux per tick that they produce from 60 all the way up to 80. But it gets better because now we have 2 augment slots, which means we can push these even further to try and produce even more redstone flux per tick. And I'm going to start by trying to put 2 of these auxiliary transmission coil augments into one of our dynamos, and just trying to get an idea for how much power it's going to produce, but also how much redstone flux per tick, not redstone flux per tick, or how much fuel that dynamo is going to use, right? Are we going to be able to keep up with the fuel demand if we put in 2 augments into one dynamo, right? It goes up to producing 240 redstone flux per tick. That's kind of crazy. That does mean that if we get all 4 of these upgraded, we'll be producing just shy of 1,000 redstone flux per tick. And on top of that, it looks like we might even be able to kind of keep up with the demand, potentially. Of course, we're not going to know for quite a while because it might be slowly but surely using more tree oil than we can produce. But for the time being, it looks like this is holding up just fine. And even just by putting those upgrades in that we have already, you can see already we're kind of producing more power than we're using right now. But I will go ahead and quickly craft up 6 more of those auxiliary augments just to see if our system can indeed kind of handle that many augments, right? But as I said, I do also want to start working on another method for producing power, if we can. How many do I want? I want 6, right? I do want to start working on another method of producing power. One that was recommended to me through the power of the Twitch chat and Discord, and that is power from leaves. There is a leaf generator from Actual Editions, and this thing is pretty cool. When I first heard it, when I was first told about it, I assumed that it was a generator that you just pumped leaves into, and it would produce power. Turns out that's not the case. That would be pretty boring because we could just, pump a bonsai pot into the leaf generator and produce free power, which, is free power, but I don't think it's particularly interesting. But it turns out that this thing is significantly cooler than that. And so, now that we're producing just shy of 1,000 redstone flux per tick here, 960 redstone flux per tick is going into this thing. Now that we're doing that, let's go and start working on producing a little bit more power from a different source. We don't really need the power right now. Again, that 1,000 redstone flux per tick that we're producing right now is going to be more than enough for the time being. But as we add more stuff to our base and to our systems, we are, of course, going to need more than 1,000 redstone flux per tick. And so that is where this leaf generator comes in, the leaf eating generator even. So, to make this, we need 4 Oreo Crystals, just iron in front of the atomic reconstructor. We need another one of these advanced coils, yet again, an iron casing, which is made with iron, sticks, and black quartz, 1 leaf of any description, and then 2 of these empowered Restorative Crystals, which are just like regular Estonia crystals, but empowered with multiple different items. And we'll get to this in just a second because these require their own entirely different setup that we'll get to in just a second. To start with though, let's go ahead and grab some iron, turn all those into Oreo Crystals. Again, I feel like we might as well do this in bulk now, like get just a stack of Oreo Crystals so we don't have to keep doing this every single time we need them. In the same vein, I feel like we might as well go ahead and craft like a stack of advanced coils if we can, because we keep making these so very frequently and it's a little tedious to make over and over and over again, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and make like a full stack of these crystals real quick, and by that I mean maybe 16, because you need 4 at a time. So maybe we can not make that many. I think we can make 16, right? Yeah, 16. Okay, that's fine. And then the real question is, do we have... How much black quartz do we have left? Oh, quite a bit. All right, that's fine. We've got 30 black quartz left. That's fine. Let's get some gold nuggets. We've already got gold nuggets as well. Look at that. And then we'll just make as many of these as we can. Again, 5 is fine for now. And then, so now, all that we're missing are these 2 empowered Restorative Crystals. And so, the way you make these is using the Empowerer from Actual Editions. So the Empowerer is this guy right here, made with 2 iron casings, 1 display stand, 1 double battery, and then another Restorative Crystal. The hardest thing here, I think, is probably going to be the double battery, because it's got like a few like tiers to the crafting here. And I think we are also going to need yet more Restorative Crystals if we are going to make this happen. So let me just throw those down right about there real quick. That should, I think, be all the Restorative that we're going to need here, if I'm not mistaken. We do also need to get ourselves some aesthetic green blocks and some aesthetic quartz. I think that's how it's pronounced, although I'm not quite sure. The aesthetic quartz is made by dropping a block of quartz in front of the atomic reconstructor, and then the aesthetic green quartz is made by dropping some chiseled quartz blocks in front of the atomic reconstructor. And so we do indeed need quite a few blocks of quartz, which we don't have. And so, you guessed it, it is time, once again, for another quick trip to everybody's favorite dimension. Say it with me, Twitch chat. The overworld. No, it's the Nether. Come on, guys. We practiced this. We practiced this. All right. Do I have some alumite left? I do. Nice. Let's get a quick few alumite ingots here so we can repair our pickaxe before we leave. Before I go through the portal here, in the last stream, we're going to take a quick detour. I was told that we can make a portal charm, which is actually not too hard to make. It's 3 obsidian, 1 string, and then 1 eye of ender. And this little guy should make going through the nether portal a lot faster. I believe what it does, if I'm not mistaken, is it should mean that we can just instantly transport through the nether portal. Or do I have to put it in the same slot as that? Can I not have both in... Oh, that's not a bauble slot. Can I not have both on? I can't use... Oh, that's fine. I'll hold on to this one then, because I think I'm going to want the portal charm really only when I go through the portal. I wish I could hold more than 1 charm, but I believe if we have that on us, it will just take us instantly through the nether portal, which is really nice indeed. It means we don't have to stand there and wait for all the sounds and visual effects to take place before we can teleport through, which is quite nice. Just a little time-saving measure there. I like it. While you're at it, why not find another quartz chicken? Ah, that's a good point, actually. We could find another quartz chicken. If we really wanted to, we could do the same thing that we did with the wood chicken, right? We could go ahead and just quickly breed together a bunch of nether quartz chickens. Do I have my chicken hits on here? I do. I've got my chicken catcher. If we catch 2 nether quartz chickens, we could very quickly rattle off a 10-10-10 or even 16-10-10-10 nether quartz chickens, and then just really not have to worry about nether quartz again going forward, which is far from a bad idea. That's actually a very good idea. I like it. I still want to put more nether quartz. We've got quite a bit of space, I think, for more nether quartz on our katana here, and so I do still want to get this thing to a higher attack value as well. Yeah, here we go. Let's get 2 of these. Oh, whoops. It's right click, not left click. If you left click, you will accidentally kill your chickens, so careful not to do that. It's a bad idea. Not recommended by the Chicken Association. And you know what? I'm going to do /home. I'm going to quickly breed these guys up to 10-10-10. It shouldn't take us too long at all, really. So now we've got 16, 10-10-10 nether quartz chickens. So really, nether quartz, I don't think is going to be an issue for us again going forward here. All we're going to do now is we're going to make another roost real quick. Another one of these guys. 3 more blocks of hay bale. And then kapow. And for now, I'm just going to throw this down in the other chicken area. Eventually, my idea here is to have another room similar to this one, in shape at least, and maybe in design a little bit too, but, you know, chickenified a little bit. And we're going to have a room probably with quite a lot of these roosts in them, all producing different resources. Clay is one that I've mentioned a few times, right? I want to get clay automated, and I think having a clay chicken is going to make that just significantly easier than trying to do it in any other shape or form, right? Trying to get, like, you know, water to be pumped automatically into a barrel and then having dust being created and pumped into that barrel as well to create the clay and then pulled out and then auto-crafted. Like, that would work, but it's going to be so much easier just to have a roost with a clay chicken in it, just constantly and eternally producing that stuff for us. All right, so now that we've got that, we are getting nether quartz. We're getting nether quartz so quick. Like, look at that. We've already got a stack of nether quartz. But crucially, now that we've got 2 stacks of nether quartz, what we should be able to do is get ourselves the tables required to make the empowerer. So first things first, let's make 30 blocks, or I guess, yeah, we'll make 30 blocks of quartz. We are going to want to chisel half of those. I did make the diamond chisel between streams because I was going through so many standard chisels, chiseling all of the dark wood and chiseling all of the seared bricks. It was just tearing through chisels. So I caved and made the diamond chisel. We're going to turn half of these here, so 15, into chiseled quartz. We're going to throw all 30, both chiseled and non-chiseled quartz, in front of the atomic reconstructor here. Standard quartz turns into aesthetic quartz, and then chiseled quartz turns into the green aesthetic green quartz. So now that we've got the aesthetic green blocks and the normal aesthetic quartz, if we go back over to the empowerer here, to get this setup running, we need to get 5 display stands. 1 to actually craft the empowerer itself, and then 4 to place around the empowerer to then infuse items using the empowerer, right? And so to make these display stands, each one needs those 3 aesthetic quartz, of course, the aesthetic quartz, and then the advanced coils. We did make, I think, exactly 5 of these, and so we should be able to make, I think, exactly 5 of these. We totally can. Nice. We made just enough of the advanced coils there. We are going to need yet more advanced coils, though, because I didn't quite make enough for the double battery that we need here. The double battery requiring Oreo Crystals, which we do have, an advanced coil, and a single battery, which requires yet more Oreo Crystals, a Restorative Crystal, and yet again another freaking advanced coil. So we should have enough Restorative Crystals here. Actually, we should have, I think, pretty much everything. Give me like 16 of those, and then let's quickly go ahead and craft just a ton of golden nuggets. And by a ton, I mean just a few stacks, maybe? That should be enough. Throw all those back in. Grab 2 more of these guys. Actually, grab a few more of these guys. Yeah, 12. Why not? 20. And then that should, chat, finally allow us to make the single battery, like so. Turn that into the double battery, like so. Hopefully. And then turn that into an empowerer. Nice. So, the way that this works, and I guess we're going to put this down in a temporary location for now. Eventually, I'll move it somewhere else. But for now, I should really place it down somewhere that we can provide power easily. I don't know exactly where that's going to be. Like, it might actually be under here. Maybe this could work out surprisingly well. Okay, chat, bear with me. Very, extremely temporary positioning. But I'm pretty sure that you put down the empowerer in the center, like so. The empowerer doesn't actually need power of any kind, right? So that doesn't need to be on top of the energy cell or anything like that. But then the display stands need to go 2 blocks away. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to need 4 more leadstone energy conduits to get this working how I want it to work. Do we have any leadstone energy conduits in the system? We got 1. We should be able to make some more fairly easily here. We should maybe even look at upgrading these leadstone energy conduits at some point in the future. Although, again, these can transfer up to 1,000 redstone flux per tick, and so we don't really need to upgrade these at all just yet, like unless we're going to use them to transfer power further. But I think, for now, if I do this, this, and this. It's been a while since I've used the empowerer, but I'm fairly certain the display stands need to go 2 blocks away from the empowerer. You'll see in the bottom left there that these do require redstone flux. They can hold up to 80,000 in total. They call it crystal flux, but it does convert 1-to-1 with redstone flux. And now we can use the empowerer to empower certain items. For example, if we wanted to make something like the leaf generator, we need to get ourselves some empowered Restorative Crystals. For those, we need to get empowered Restonia. Now, there are 2 ways that you can make this. You can make it either like this, or you can make it in block form, which is significantly cheaper because either way you make it, you need these 4 items. You need nether quartz, you need nether brick, you need redstone, you need a normal brick, and then you need some form of red dye. Now, if you make each Restorative Crystal individually, each empowered Restorative Crystal individually, you would need 9 nether brick, 9 redstone, 9 brick, and 9 red dye, 9 rose red, in order to get 9 empowered Restorative Crystals, whereas if you put a block of redstone or a block of Restonia in the middle, you only need 1 nether brick, 1 redstone, 1 brick, and 1 red dye, making it significantly easier. So, if we quickly use our extended crafting table that is in our system, which we don't have the ability to use because we don't have the freaking Restorative Crystals, flip a heck, whenever I try and, if we grab some Restorative Crystals, do we not have any Restorative Crystals? If we grab some redstone, we can make some more Restorative Crystals because apparently we are all out. And then for the first time in forever, we can make use of our inbuilt 3x3 crafting table here to produce 1 block of Restonia. And then I think we should have almost everything it takes to actually empower this already, hopefully already, in the system. Hopefully I will pick this up any day now. There we go. And then let's see here. Do we have any nether brick? We do. Good stuff. Do we have any standard brick? I doubt we do. We don't. We've got actually like actual bricks, but no bricks, although we can go ahead and smelt up some clay very quickly over here in our diamond furnace, like so. Red dye, we should have. We don't have any red dye there. I guess let's just very quickly bone meal the grass and try and get a red flower. The more sustainable way to do it would be, of course, to get the botanical floral red powder and then try and use that to get infinite red dye. But for now, me being a little lazy, I'm just going to grab this guy and craft that up into a rose red. That'll be that bit done. And then what was the last piece of the puzzle here? It was redstone, which of course we do already have as well. And so that should, chat, be pretty much everything that we need. So let's grab ourselves 1 piece of redstone. We're going to have to clear out a little bit of space in our inventory here because it's getting a little full. But I'm just going to grab 1 of those. And so now, if we come back over to our empowerer, all we have to do, I don't think orientation matters at all. So if we just put down another brick, we put down a rose red, we put down a standard brick, and we put down a single piece of redstone dust like that. Then we throw down the Restonia crystal in the middle. That should then begin to infuse that block of Restonia with all of these other items and with that redstone flux to begin producing the empowered the empowered Restonia crystal. Now, there's no progress bar on this thing, so I have no idea how long that's going to take. It also doesn't tell you, I don't think, in JEI how much power it takes, like how much redstone flux is needed to make this happen. Although it might tell you in the manual. But I don't think it does. But eventually, give it a second here. It shouldn't take too long. This will turn into empowered Restonia. It is done. Kapow. We now have a block of Restonia crystals, which we can then craft back into standard Restonia crystals. And so now, back over here, I'm fairly certain that we might have what it takes to make our first leaf-eating generator here. Just go ahead and shift-click that in and grab it. We'll probably make a few of these, but this thing, in my opinion, is pretty cool. So I throw it down, like so. The way that it works is you gather leaves. I think any type of leaf will work. You'll see again, in the bottom left there, it's got 0 out of 35,000 redstone flux right now. If you put down a leaf, boop, it will zap the leaf with a green laser, and it'll produce redstone flux. Look at that. 1,200. Throw a leaf down. 1,500. So 300 redstone flux per leaf that you put down. This thing, again, much like everything else that we've worked with today, is crazy overpowered, especially because of the fact that we have these bonsai pots, right? With the bonsai pots producing unlimited leaves for free, it means that we can just, automatically place these down and generate infinite redstone flux for free from the leaf-eating generator, which is crazy. And especially when you put more of these down, I think it does look really cool, like zapping out in all directions to pick up all of the leaves. I think it looks kind of cool there. And also we can put down, obviously, multiple of those leaf-eating generators around with the leaves to generate even more redstone flux. Now, the real question is, do I want to use the leaves we already have? Because I'm kind of thinking of whether or not I want to use the leaf-eating generator with bonsai pods, or if I want to set up like a different tree farm and automatically have it eat the leaves from there. I think I'm probably going to go with the latter. Just because, again, I think it'd be a little boring to have just a bonsai pot producing leaves and then a leaf eater eating those leaves. I think what would be cooler is to have an actual tree farm set up that is generating leaves and then have the leaf eater kind of destroying those leaves as and where it can, right? Specifically, I was talking with some people in the Discord chat about setting up something like a Steve's Carts tree farm, right? If we go to @Steve's Carts here, we can set up a cart that will go around, plant saplings, the trees will grow, it will harvest the trees. Whilst it's waiting for it to harvest the trees, we can have our leaf-eating generator zapping those leaves, producing redstone flux passively, and then use that to power some of the stuff in our base. I think that could look really cool, set up like a big old room with some of the rail tracks to get that stuff up and running. I think that could look really cool indeed. Yay, Steve's Carts. I love Steve's Carts. I think it's a really cool mod. Also, Eeliter is here. Eeliter, whose name I keep mispronouncing. It's Eeliter, not Eeliter. Eeliter, show yourself. Are you waiting to kill me for your sword endeavors? I'm now up to 12 heads. I need to TP Alan Swally. I need to see this. I need to see this. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Does he have my head? Where's my head, Alan? Where is it? Where's my head? Back here. This is Woot spawner. I do want to get started on Woot as well pretty soon, so we can ditch our cursed earth spawner. Oh, it's further back. I see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. I've got to keep an eye on Alan, because if I leave him too long, he's gonna try and kill me for my head. Oh my goodness! What are these eyes? How do you have these eyes? These are crazy. Crazy eyes. But anyway, yeah, I do want to set up some Woot at some point. The problem that we run into when it comes to Woot, if I go to @Woot here, is he holding a sword? I've got a chicken stick, Alan. I've got a chicken stick. Stay back. All right? Stay back, Alan. The problem with Woot is that no, please. Get me out of here. The problem with Woot is that in order to get a lot of the stuff with Woot, we have to have iron ore, right? Because we need these Stygian, I think, iron ingots. And for these, you need this dust right here, which is made with iron ore. Now, iron ore is not as easy as you'd think to get. We can either use the Void Ore Miner from Environmental Tech, which we don't have. We could use the Orchid from Britannia, which we also don't have. We could use the Mining Laser from Industrial Foregoing, which we also don't have. And we can finally use the... I guess we could make it fairly easy, actually, with this, right? The iron ore chunks are not too hard to get. This might be doable, but we need iron ore. I'm thinking about maybe setting up either a Void Ore Miner or a laser, just so that we can kind of passively produce extra resources with that as well. And actually kind of start to use some of that excess power that we are producing. And so I probably will start working on that as well fairly soon, so we can get some iron ore, so we can then jump into Woot, which for those who don't know, it allows you to set up like a mob spawner that doesn't actually spawn any mobs. It just produces the mob drops, much like a Void Ore Miner produces ores without doing any mining. It will produce mob drops just by using power, which is pretty cool. It makes it very efficient when it comes to server lag and stuff like that. It also allows you to hone in on the specific mob drops that you want. You know, you can specifically only have it spawning skeletons or creepers or endermen or stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. Full on nether quartz, which is nice. But guys, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there for now.